Good morning folks, and welcome to another helping of Mr H's Hot Pot. You joined me this morning, up and about, early bird, walking along US 192 here in Kissimmee. I've not done any of these type of videos whilst I've been here, where I've just been out and about on my Todd. But I've left Mrs H and little Toby James sound asleep there in the hotel room, because last night we went and watched the Fantasmic show at Disney's Hollywood Studios, and they're a bit cream crackered. But I've got up early and I thought I'll have a wander and I'll have a walk about. You know, I'll be a typical British tourist wandering about. Now, I got all the way to the end of this video. I made the old classic mistake of realising that I hadn't pressed the bloody record button, had I? So I've had to come back and do it again, and these people in these cars here are wondering what the hell I'm doing. But I'll just whip the camera around and I'll show you the level of traffic here on the roads. Just look at that. Bloody mad, isn't it? Just look at that, it's amazing. You would never get that in the UK, would you? Right, I've got to cross there in a bit and get back onto the other side. It took me about a quarter of an hour to get to this side of the road, and that's on a crosswalk. Crazy, crazy. Another little thing that I noticed is this sign here. What? No pruning ever? Crazy, crazy. Anyway, the purpose of today's video is to document a restaurant that me and Mrs H used to enjoy coming to when we used to come to Florida before we had little Toby. And the last time we was here would probably be about 2015, 2016, something like that. Don't quote me on that, you know, without checking my passport. I couldn't tell you the exact date, but when we used to come here, we always liked going to the buffet style restaurants. I've talked a lot about these in my daily vlogs, and the places we normally go are Ponderosa, Sizzler, and we used to go to Shoney's. I enjoy Shoney's, I like Shoney's because they had a good choice. Just crossing a little road here, so I'm going to keep my eye on that rather than talking to you guys, because I don't want to get flattened. Just get across the other side, we'll continue. Right, I'm safely across now, and like I say, we always like going to Shoney's. It's a big restaurant franchise over here, but unfortunately, Hot Potters, we got here this time, and this is the sight that greeted us. They've shut the bugger down. So what I think I'm going to do in this video, I think I'm going to document this restaurant, you know, for old time's sake. Now, I'm not sure what the trespass laws are in the US. I know back in England, you know, the worst they can do is tell you to, you know, bugger off type of thing, but over here there's all this offences and things like that, so I don't know what the actual trespassing laws are in the US. Any of my viewers from the US, please leave your comments below, or does it change from state to state? One thing Mr H doesn't want to end up, you know, is in the big house. You know, some bloke, boy, your soul better belong to Jesus, because your ass belongs to me. I don't want that, I don't want that. So anyway, I'm going to whip the camera around, I'm going to risk it, and I'm going to head over there now, and I'm going to take a walk around the restaurant and document it. So join me in a moment. And here we are. This is that Shoney's restaurant that I was talking about. We'll be taking a closer look in a moment at it, but at the moment it's just vacant. The big sign there, that's still there. You know, the roadside signs. I love those type of signs. You can see them for miles around. But it's not been switched on all the time we've been here. So it does look like this one's gone bust. So we'll take a closer look at this restaurant now, and we'll just have a walk around and see if we can see inside it. Now, there's a sign there, I don't know if you can make that out, saying no trespassing, and I'm not sure about the trespassing laws here in the US. So we'll just have to see how it goes. I'll just act the stupid British tourist if anybody says anything, but There you can see it states no trespassing. Anyway, we'll have a walk around and we'll see what happens. So this is the front of the restaurant. They all look the same, these type of restaurants in the US. There's that sign from the other side. Luckily the sun's just gone behind the clouds, so I could get that shot. Take a closer look now at the doors that me and Mrs. H went through back in about 2015, 2016, like I said. It's a while since we've been to America again. Now this is an interesting little thing, this here. These little boxes here, they'd usually have like newspapers in them. You know, you'd spend whatever it is for the newspaper, you get it out of that box and take it away with you. I've not seen any of them up and down 192, so that's a bit of a throwback, and that'll probably give an indication as to when this particular restaurant actually closed down. Looks like somebody's thrown a paving slab through one of the windows there. There we go, that'd be the entrance into Shoney's. But yeah, keep out. I wouldn't go inside. Anyway, just look at that traffic there on 192. I've just tried to get across one of the crossways over there, and it's absolutely bloody manic, the traffic. Absolutely manic. When you get inside one of these places, they very much remind me of the old Little Chefs back in the UK. I mean, obviously they have nothing to do with Little Chef. It's just the colours and the style of the restaurant. Very much they're stuck in the 80s, these places. You know, still playing bloody rock music. Look at all those ceiling tiles that have dropped in there. That's just somebody advertising real estate, really. It's probably the people who have got this on the books. Wonder if this will ever see customers again as a restaurant, or whether or not it'll end up demolished and something else being put here in its place. Yeah, we've had some good meals in there, myself and Mrs. H. Sadly though, possibly no more. I mean, it still looks in good shape from the outside. But as you can see, it's not been weeded around here for quite a while. But you can't really use that as an indication out here, because things spring up so bloody quickly. Mother Nature trying to reclaim this area, which I believe was just a swamp way back when. Make our way down the side here. For anybody wondering where this is, if you look on US 192 and you see that there with the big wizard, the gift shop, it's right next door to it. Another sign there saying no trespassing, which I'm going to politely ignore. There's all the buffet places, you know, where all the stuff would have gone, all the scram, they'd have put them under there, kept them warm. And then you just go up and you get it as and when you want and get your fill. Now, we visited one of these places further out. Look at that nest there. I wonder what's in there. I ain't going to poke that. But looks a bit dodgy, doesn't it? Yeah, we visited one of these places. And in honesty, I think the Shoney franchise, certainly around this area of Orlando, I think it's going to go bust and disappear, to be honest, because it weren't too good, it weren't too sparkling, and it was top dollar as well for it. There you can just see the state of the seats in there. They're all looking mouldy. And a little bit worse for wear. A little bit worse for wear, Hot Potters. Make our way around the back now. This is where we will get pulled if anybody comes out, because I've no right being round here and I've no excuse, but I'm going to push on. I'm going to push on. Look at that, an old coach. I wonder if they do the same thing as they do in the UK and they bust the bottom out of them looking for change. Yep, they do. Must be a worldwide thing, that. An old clothing drop box there. It's one of those things where people put the clothes in and charities come and get them. So somebody's dragged it round the back here and broken into it. Here's the back doors that would lead into it. Old gas main there. Step ladders onto the roof. I'm not going to do that, Hot Potters. There's a sort of risking it here, a bit of trespassing in a foreign country. I did that in Germany, and I was really worried about getting pulled in Germany. No idea what would have been in there at one time, probably electrical equipment. And we're back round this side. An old do not enter sign there. Still got all the Shoney's insignia on it, you know, doesn't look like it's any of it's fallen away. Permit holders are here for disabled parking, and I believe you can be fined up to $200 in the US if you park in one of these bays when you shouldn't. So it's not like back in the UK where, you know, somebody comes out of Morrison's or Asda and politely tells you to, you know, could you leave please if you haven't got a disabled badge. They will actually fine you, and it can be backed up even though it's on private land, apparently. Which is very interesting. Another window that's been put through there, and one of those no trespassing signs. I think you can buy them in shops and that. Please call 119. I'm sure that should be 911. Probably somebody's doing that right now. There's some crazy English guy going round filming inside, casing the joint. And I think that's where the cash register would have been as you came in. I'm almost sure it was. Yeah, we went there, tipped our dollars up, headed through, and the breakfast and buffet bar was right in front of you there. They did a decent dinner, this place, as I recall. Such a shame, as it's now gone. Old tow away zone sign there, very big on that, so you can still tow over here. Take a little look at this big sign here, these big advertisement hoarding things. There we go, there's all the metering and everything for it. And just look how tall these things are. You don't get anything like that back in the UK, do you? Like a bloody block of flats, that, out of that. All these cars that are nipping through here, down this road, what they're doing, they're trying to cut out all that busy traffic that you can see over there on 192. Right then, Hot Potters, I'm going to whip the camera round and we'll wrap this one up, I think. Right then folks, that'll just about do it for this video, I think. Hope you enjoyed that little look around this abandoned restaurant here along US 192 in Kissimmee in Florida. I'm going to get back to the hotel room now and join up with Mrs H and little Toby James. Hopefully they've awakened and they've got an appetite and we can nip out and we can get some breakfast. But not at this particular restaurant, Hot Potters, that I've just shown you. It looks like that one's bit the dust and it won't be seeing paying customers anytime soon. Who knows what it'll be the next time we arrive in Orlando again. Maybe it'll just be one of these little discount places that sell gifts that you see dotted around. Sadly, because the Walt Disney Company changing the way they do things, you know, they're keeping people on property, places are closing down all the time. It's just one of those things. All these businesses that you see both in Kissimmee and along International Drive, they'll have built their businesses up on the back of the Disney and the Universal corporations. As they start bringing things more in-house, you know, restaurants, places to stay, the hotels and that, these places are just left to fend for themselves. Right then, I've waffled enough. I'm going to get back, like I said. So until the next time, from myself, Mr. H, it is bye-bye for now.